Hello and welcome to the Greater Statesville Chamber of Commerce 2023 City Council Election Podcast. I'm William Morgan. I'm the current chair of the Chamber's Business Advocacy Committee, former two-term City Council member, and we're joined today, and I'm pleased to be joined by Lisa Pearson. Lisa is running for City Council this fall in Ward 6. So welcome, Lisa.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here.
Glad to have you here. So tell us a little bit about Lisa.
I'm Lisa Pearson. I live in Ward 6 on Eastside Drive. I am a proud graduate of Statesville High School and this illustrious Winston-Salem State University.
Go Greyhound.
I currently work as a social worker. I have two sons. They're 15 and 23. And also, I'm the president of the Statesville High School Boosters Association. Okay. So just doing my thing in the community.
Good for you. So what sparked your interest in City Council? Why are you running for City Council? What inspired you to get involved in government?
Well, I live in Ward 6. Many of you know, my ward consists of a lot of car dealerships, not too many small business ownerships, and I think that's something that I would like to change. Also look to providing people with more affordable housing in Ward 6 as well.
Okay, well, let's go right to that. As Statesville grows, and I think we're all agreed that Statesville will grow, that's going to become an issue, is affordable housing. What plans do you have, what ideas do you have to help with the affordable housing issue?
Well, the first plan is that in order to have affordable housing, people have to have attainable and jobs that they are able to get to. So transportation is a main issue here in Statesville. I've worked in Kannapolis, Mecklenburg County, and other counties across North Carolina, and they have a major transit system. When I say major, maybe 2 or 3 buses that go from one end of the county to the other end. Statesville doesn't have that. We have ICATS, which has a timeline of how their transportation routes run, which for a lot of people that want to obtain, affordable, jobs, it's not reliable. So we have to have, like I said, obtainable employment, attainable transportation, and then that goes into your affordable housing. When we get to the affordable housing piece, we have to build a better relationship with our Statesville Housing Authority. I've noticed that they have a lot of property throughout Statesville, which brings up a big question in my mind. But hey, who am I? I'm just little old Lisa. But $300,000 houses in some of these neighborhoods is just not conducive to what the economy in Statesville, needs right now. So we just have to, like I said, it all has to fall in order: employment, transportation, and then housing. So hopefully, if I'm elected to this position, that's going to be my first thing, is for us to work toward employment, developing better relationship and partnerships with our community leaders.
Okay. Well, on top of that, what other issues do you think are facing the city?
To be honest with you, right now, because I am a part of the Statesville High School Booster Association, our gang situation on other sides of town and within our school system is a major issue, especially within our school system. And I think we need to work with law enforcement to kind of help them obtain some funding to get this under control, as well as get the leaders in the community some resources so we can kind of reach out to these gang members or these youth to let them know, hey, this is not what we want. Mm-hmm. We definitely don't want it in our city, but it is here. And that's what I'm saying. We have issues with gang activities, and I know at one point our mayor was saying that wasn't a problem. Well, it is a problem. And that's affecting everything that I just spoke about. It's affecting our employment, it's affecting our housing, it's affecting our transportation system. Because when you have gang activity, that leads to drug activity, that leads to guns, and here we are in a situation we don't want to be in. Sure. It stunts our growth as the city of Statesville. So that's something that we really have to work on and work towards fixing.
As a council member, not only do you represent the entire city, but you're, of course, elected from your ward.
Exactly.
And you've got a priority there as well. What do you think is the major issue or concern in Ward 1? Or excuse me, Ward 6.
Ward 6. In Ward 6, what I'm seeing is, like I said before, small businesses they're not getting, I guess, fair funding, or not giving the available resources to know how to manage their business, obtain their business, or even renovate their businesses. And I think that's an issue. Also, in my ward, I have the Black Historical District. That's something that, we would like to kind of expand on, work with the city to get the Black Historical District, their signage, the renovations that they need, and also make that district look like the rest of Statesville. And when I say that, if you go to downtown Statesville, once you get past the ABC store, it looks different. My goal is I want everything to look like Statesville. Everything to be in unison, everything to flow. So when you go into one, you're not afraid to walk in this community because it's considered a Black community or whatever, But that's one of the things that another project that I'm looking to work towards, if and when I'm elected to city council.
Okay. Well, you've certainly addressed the affordable housing and the job issue and the fact that you need jobs to be able to afford housing to begin with. Economic development, bringing industry in, helping industries expand that are already here, small businesses. What ideas do you have for promoting economic development?
Well, any business that comes into the area, everybody's looking for breaks. They want a little something to give something back. And that's not a problem. But in order to do that, you have to be able and willing to provide the time to have a seat at the table with these industries and let them know what our expectations of the city is. We don't mind you coming in and bringing industries. We welcome it. But on the flip side of that, we have to have some guarantees in place. I'm not privy to those guarantees. I want to be privy to those guarantees. So, and that's one thing, those guarantees have to be a win-win for the citizens of Statesville as well as the city.
Sure.
So that's one of the things that, that I hope to, like I say, be privileged to get some of that information and be able to work with that. We're trying to do so many things, widen the roads in certain areas. We build a certain area town more than we build another area. You want all of Statesville to be able to thrive and grow.
Okay.
So Broad Street is my side of town, but that side I feel like is really going down. I live on East Side Drive, which intersects with Broad Street, and we have no major restaurants there. Nothing like what's out at Crossroads, and I think that's a major part of the intersecting crossings, and that's something that we need to work on as a city. And I think the city has not put enough pressure on the taxpayers or the pressures on the mall people or whoever to kind of build that area up, So I think Statesville needs a lot of help, and I feel like it just has not been happening. Let me say that.
Well, as you know, there are 8 members of council. There's 6
Correct.
wards, 2 at large, and then the mayor. And in order to get anything done, you need at least 5 votes.
That's it.
So how would you build consensus with your other council members?
Well, the thing about it is, at the end of the day, I have to still say face and hold true to what I believe. I hope now that I've built a relationship with most of them, and I hope that we can work for the better good of everything in Statesville. There are going to be some times when we're not going to agree on everything, but guess what? That's what we have to learn as adults, to compromise. I'm willing to compromise on some things, and I hope they're willing to compromise on some things as well. But at some point, as well as the mayor, we have to, at the end of the day, we want to do things for the good of Statesville.
Good for you. So in the few minutes that we have left, what would you just like to let the voters know?
Well, I would encourage the voters to go out, and this is the time that we're having early voting. Please go out and vote. I tell people all the time, your municipality's election is much bigger than your presidential race because it affects you directly. So I would encourage people to vote. I look forward to seeing people out in the community this weekend and next weekend. And October the 10th, if you don't get out for early vote, is the big day, and I hope to see you at the board. So you guys at your polls. So you guys have a great rest of your day.
Lisa,
and I really enjoyed it.
Thank you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. I appreciate it.